Hello friends, my name is Koolio and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Pokemon Masters guide video. This video is dedicated to all the people that have been asking me, Koolio, which Pokemon sync pairs are the ones I should be dedicating my time and resources to maxing out in this game. And because there are some limited resources when it comes to evolving our Pokemon monthly, as well as it does take a lot of time and grinding to get Pokemon all the way up to their max level, this is definitely a wonderful question to ask. So I've been doing a lot of research, my own personal opinion, a lot of tier lists, a lot of things from Reddit forums, Discord, all over the place to find out which Pokemon would be the best Pokemon to max out for the game currently. And the reason why I say currently is because of upcoming updates or new Pokemon sync pairs and the like will change this list dramatically. However, I decided for this list to pick 3 Pokemon that you can get through only summoning in the game by spending gems or using your free gems, or Pokemon, and 3 Pokemon that you get simply just by playing through the story. So 3 paid Pokemon, 3 free Pokemon. Let's go ahead and get started. But I do have 2 honorable mentions I want to drop down first, only because of the reason that there are a limited amount of evolution stones that we can get every single month. You can get a total of 3 of them every single month, and these 2 Pokemon do require those evolution stones to get to their 3rd evolution. The first one is going to be Chris and Totodile, all the way up to Feraligatr. Now the reason why I picked Chris and Feraligatr is there are some sort of mid to end game progression areas where you're going to be facing off against Brock, that Feraligatr is a decent side Pokemon to have to kind of take care of some of those Pokemon that are weak against water elements. However, if you're not lucky enough to end up getting Chris and Feraligatr, the free version that you can drop and try to get is going to be Barry and Piplup, specifically Barry and Empoleon. Now, there are definitely better Pokemon than these 2. However, these are some of the very few Pokemon in the game that require the evolution stones, and seeing as they are the 2 of the best water elements in the game, you're going to have to decide if you want to spend your evolution crystals on one or the other. And so both of them are pretty good. Barry and Empoleon are really good for story progression as well as daily grinding. Feraligatr is probably a little bit better because he can do more solo damage against an enemy due to one of the most unique traits in the game, which I didn't personally know until I found out, but the water shift skill right here. Normal type moves become water type moves. So basically his Mega Kick now becomes a water type move, which you can use to take out some of the co-op side battle AIs that you're going to experience specifically with the Brock EX challenge. Now let's go ahead and get started with the list with our very first free character, our number 3 pick. Now this one actually came out to be a little bit of a surprise, a little bit of a bigger hit than I initially anticipated. That's going to be Roxanne and Nosepass. They have quickly shot up the ranks in the community to S tier levels of Pokemon support. And the main reason comes down to the wide guard ability. The user takes up a defensive posture. Using this move again will make the user leave this defensive posture. Now, while they're in this defensive state, no other actions can be taken when in the defensive posture. However, it nullifies moves that target all allies when hit by such a move while in this defensive posture. And there are some enemies that you're going to be facing in EX challenges that attack all of your allies, all of your teammates. So having the wide guard ability is really nice to help deflect and defend against your teammates. On top of that, if you're running special attackers, you've got Study Buddy, which sharply raises the special attack and speed of all allied sync pairs, and the X Defense All sharply raises the defense of all allied sync pairs. Both of them are absolutely incredible and are extremely useful for endgame content, which has quickly made Nosepass and Roxanne rise up to the ranks to S tier. It personally surprised me, but so many people have been using them, and so many people have their minds have been blown by how well Nosepass has been. Now, if you actually put in the time and investment to push Nosepass up to a 5-star, they could be just as bulky as Pokemon like Rosa and Serperior. However, it takes a lot more resources. Keep that in mind. Now, the next one I want to share with you is one that you can only get through summons, but is another decent support Pokemon to protect your team. Is Phoebe and Dusknoir, another very bulky Pokemon on your team to help deflect and take some of the damage from the enemies. Now, the reason why this Pokemon is so good is basically down to its Pass It On passive skill, which transfers half the amount of this sync pair's raise stats to the sync pair that will switch in when this sync pair faints. So basically with a Pokemon like this, when you're going up in EX challenges or co-op battles, this is a Pokemon that you can drop down a couple of buffs, you can try to increase their overall stats, or maybe your teammates are increasing it and everything like that, and then they get taken out. You've used them to deflect maybe a sync move or something that the opponent has done. One of the biggest headaches that comes from playing the EX challenges or going against opponents that have the sync move is it will get rid of stats, or when you bring in a new Pokemon, they don't have any of the increased stats. With this one, you actually transfer those stats over, so it's absolutely brilliant. Another Pokemon that has really good special defense, decent health, and again is one of the bulkier Pokemon in the game. So this is one I'm actually currently working on trying to max out to add to my own personal team. Now the next one I want to talk about on the free list is going to come down to, let me see if I can find them. No, that's my number one pick right here. I absolutely love Howie and Raichu, and I'm pretty sure I'm saying his name wrong. But the reason why I recommend maxing this Pokemon out, in my own personal experience, is they are incredible when it comes to doing your daily grind, as well as they can drop down a decent amount of damage in X co-op battles, specifically if you're using them as kind of like a secondary Pokemon. I would not use them as a main attacker, but it's definitely a good Pokemon to drop down to kind of help clear some of the field. There are other Pokemon that can help in specific EX challenges, but I found that Howie and Raichu for progression on your overall account, as well as a slightly side character when it comes to doing some of the end game challenges, is absolutely fantastic, mainly due to the fact that they can buff their own special attack, the discharge, which attacks all opponents and has a moderate chance of leaving the target paralyzed. A lot of the other Pokemon have a minor chance. This one actually has a moderate, and I cannot tell you the amount of times I have been saved basically because Raichu has paralyzed the enemy Pokemon. All right, next up on the other side with the paid Pokemon, we are gonna go with, let's see if I can find them. I know they're here somewhere. Oh, they are right there. Brendan and Trico. Seriously, this little guy packs so much punch. Has one of the highest special attacks and highest attacks in the game, as well as the ability to max out their special attacks and their physical attacks. Now, he uses a maximum of 3 slots of the user's move gauge. Based on the amount used, this move raises the user's attack and special attacks to a maximum of 6. One of the biggest difficulties you're going to come up across in the end game content is having to buff up your own teammate, or buff up your own Pokemon, or rebuff up your Pokemon when you get hit by sync moves. And this is one of those moves that you can just, boom, instantly max out your Pokemon and start dropping down a couple of Leaf Storms. Now, in the past, I think they may have changed this, and I could be wrong on this, but I do remember using Leaf Storm before would just like completely ruin your no turning back, but now it doesn't. At least in my personal experience with it, it only drops your special attack by 2 levels. So in order to even get dropped back down to his basic special attack, you have to use this 3 times. And in those 3 times, along with his dire hit, you can get some massive damage on the enemy. And even if you don't have the type advantage, Trico and Brendan are a Pokemon sync pair that I see a lot of people use because of how much damage they can do to the enemy Pokemon, even if they don't have that type advantage. All right, now moving on to our number 1 spot for the free Pokemon. Obviously, this is coming to no surprise to anybody, but it's Rosa and Serperior. Again, S rank all over the place, one of the best supporting Pokemon you could ever have on your team. Some really great special defense. The X special attack all is amazing. The time to energize is again such an amazing move. Those 2 things right there are just fantastic, as well as the fact that special defense cannot be lowered and has the highest bulk in the game currently. So this is a Pokemon where you're going into co-op battles just before the enemy team is about to drop their sync move. Swap in your Rosa and Serperior, take the hit for your other Pokemon, drop a couple of X special attacks if you're working with teammates to buff up their special attackers, and then just jump right back in the battle with every Pokemon you were using before. Again, Rosa and Serperior are amazing. And then finally, the number 1 Pokemon that if you end up giving them through summons, you should immediately try to get it up to level 100. It's a Pokemon I still don't have on my own game, and that is Olivia and Lycanroc. Just a powerhouse attacker with 357 attack, plus X attack, which sharply raises the user's attack, and Hard as Diamonds, which sharply raises the user's accuracy and critical hit rate. However, it sharply lowers the user's special defense. Now, just a little bit of a tip. I see this quite a lot, and I think it's mainly due to a lot of people auto-combating some of these co-op missions. Don't drop all of your buffs right before the enemy uses their sync move. You're gonna lose all of it. Maybe drop 1 or 2 X special attacks, or maybe drop an X special attack and a hard diamond, and then start dropping down some stone edges. But please do not drop all of your buffs beforehand, because if you do, and you get to the end of the battle, the enemy uses their sync move, you're screwed because you don't have enough tack to finish off the enemy. But again, Lycanroc and Olivia are S+ tier Pokemon. If you happen to get them, make sure to max them out as fast as possible, because they are going to help you out so much when it comes to co-op battles in the end. And in fact, I am planning on coming out with a video very soon talking about co-op battles, some tips and tricks to hopefully help everybody be able to progress and get through them a lot quicker. Well guys, that is my list for the Pokemon that you should max out as soon as possible. Some honorable mentions do go to all of the Pokemon that have Mega Evolutions, such as Mega Pidgeot, Mega Pinsir, Mega Beedrill. These Pokemon are really, really great as secondary attackers that you can add onto your team. The reason why I didn't add them onto this list is because I decided only to pick 3 of each. But if you do have any of these Mega Evolution Pokemon, they are really, really great. Really, really great as secondary attackers on your team for the end game content. Well guys, thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more Pokemon Masters videos coming in the future. Again, things have been so fantastic. We've had so many new people join the channel. You guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you again so much. My name's Koolio, guys, and I will see you next time.